hi. It's David, and I was bored, and I was thinking of the air show at the CNE, where I spent 12 years as director of marketing, and it was pretty amazing time. And you're going to see a few things along the way on David's board from the CNE. But let me just show you a couple of quick things about the CNE, and then I want to show you a video that took place. It was captured in the winter of 1987. And it was Rick Sikorsky and I. He was the publicist at the Canadian National Exhibition. In episode 4, you heard Rick's story about he and I meeting Johnny Cash. Rick and I went out on a very frigid night. But let me first just show you some quick things about the CNE. The air show still is, I assume, the most powerful draw to the annual exhibition. On the last 3 days of the annual CNE, the planes take over the sky, and people on the CNE grounds and all around come to take a look. It's an integral part of the CNE and really a wonderful part of the exhibition. But the CNE itself goes back to 1879. I'm delighted to have been director of marketing for 12 years of that time, but it was a huge institution and has been forever. The Gates were born on the Jubilee of Canada, the Diamond Jubilee of Canada, the 60th anniversary in 1927. The first recorded sound took place at the CNE. People returned from the war and celebrated at the CNE. There was so much to celebrate, and the glorious architecture of the buildings and so on, and the Midway, of course. But today I wanted to take you into the Gates. And this video that Rick and I came up with was a lure for us to introduce our president at the conference of CAFE, the Canadian Association of Fairs and Exhibitions, for people from fairs and exhibitions across Canada to come to Toronto the next winter and be hosted by the CNE, Conklin Shows, and the Royal Winter Fair. Rick's taking the camera work, and you'll see a little snippet of Rick here, and it was a cold night. And I just want to point out, I knew many people and saw many great things at the CNE, and one of my favorite was Sam Snyderman. Many people know him as Sam the Record Man. I listen to him often. His mentoring and his words of wisdom were really wonderful, but I have no idea what he's talking about in this clip.
Next year at this time, the CAFE will be coming to Toronto, as Toronto is acting as host for the annual convention. There is a perception out there across the country that Torontonians are cold, rude, and downright cranky people. We thought we would go to the streets, let them know that you, the delegates of the CAFE, are coming to Toronto, and see what they have to say.
Hi, I'm Barbara Hall, Mayor of the City of Toronto, and I'd like to invite each one of you to come to our city for next year's convention of the Association of Canadian Fairs and Exhibitions. We love showing off our city, and we'd like to show it to you at the same time for you to have the kind of business relationships that grow out of a convention. So I hope next year you'll be here with us. See you in 1998.
Hey, we're standing here with the parking lot guy. Parking's really cheap when you guys get here. Do you have anything to say to the folks coming from all across Canada?
No, we're just going to welcome them here. This is a very nice place to be. It's very cosmopolitan and everything, and I just hope they have a great time like we do.
All you fair visitors to this city have a great, wonderful time in our city, and anything that we can possibly do to assist you in this, we would be more than happy to help you. I thank you very much.
Driver, we're trying to show them how warm everybody is here. Oh, okay, okay. See, I guess this is a private club and we really can't get in without a tie. No? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, well, thanks a lot. Okay, well, not everybody's friendly, but maybe you should just shy. But when you're here, you can get your windows washed for really cheap or a couple of smokes. These guys are all over Toronto to service the visitors.
I want to welcome all of you in '98 for your annual convention. It's been a few years since you were here to Toronto. I am delighted that you've come back. I'm sure there's a lot of things that we can offer you, both in think-thoughtic chambers and think-thoughtic chambers and think-thoughtic chambers and entertainment. And I personally look forward to welcoming you each personally.
It's a great city. Some people think it's really too big. We got great nightclubs, we got the Eaton Center, we got the CN Tower, lots of great attractions. And there's also some wonderful little nightclub bars and neighborhood bars with hopefully friendly people. Let's go in and see this bar.
Well, I used to live in Saskatoon for 1 year, and I lived in Vancouver, and I live out here, and we welcome the people from Saskatoon. Very much so. It's a good city. A lot of fun here now.
What should they do when they're here in Toronto?
There's many things to do. They're coming in the wintertime, are they?
Yeah, a year right now.
Well, okay, there's many things to do. There's the downtown city of Toronto was excellent, and then we have the smaller towns just outside Toronto. It's a very live city, and it goes all night in many cases.
We're telling all the people across Canada how friendly Toronto is, how warm the people are, because they're all coming here next year at this time. Can you tell the people from across Canada why Toronto is great and friendly and warm?
Toronto is great and friendly and warm because it's so darn cold, although maybe not as cold as there, but pretty darn cold, and everyone likes to have a good time and good conversation and love to come here and have some scotch. We have over 100 single malts and lots of draft.
Where is here when they come next year? Where should they come to?
It's 284 Richmond Street East.
And what's the name?
Stonecutter's Arms.
No, I mean, what's your name?
Oh, Brenda.
Okay, that's great. See, friendly people in Toronto. Hi, I'm David, and we're representing the CAFE, and we've got all sorts of people coming from across Canada to Toronto. Anything you want to say? That's good.
Well, we'd like to invite people to Canada because, as you'll notice tonight, we're only losing by 2 goals. We invite a lot of hockey teams here, come play our game, and we'll lose. Any team you come to Toronto will lose.
Anything you'd like to say to the people?
I don't go on camera. Where's my Boddington shirt?
Okay, thanks. That'd be great. Okay.
Okay, I got that because I'm from Winnipeg. I spent several years in Winnipeg. I went to high school, and I know how cold it is, and I've been in Toronto for 12 years, and it's been way too long, 12 years. I had no justification for how you guys are trying to slant this film, because I just I agree with you. Toronto people are really cold. And
I thought I told you to get out of here. Would you get out of here? I told you to leave. Would you leave?
I'm beginning to think everybody in Toronto is from somewhere else. Do you want to welcome people to Toronto? They're just busy. They got to get home. Hey, we're just inviting people to Toronto to come to the convention, and they think that people in Toronto are cold and cranky. Do you want to welcome people to Toronto?
Welcome to Toronto.
Beautiful. Another friendly guy. Thanks. Hey, we're just welcoming people to Toronto for a convention because everybody out west thinks and out east thinks we're cold in Toronto. We're not cold, right? No. Do you want to say welcome to Toronto?
Welcome to Toronto.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot. Cool. Yes. We just want to welcome people to Toronto. Do you have time to welcome people to Toronto?
Get out of my way. I'm in a hurry.
Well, that gentleman's obviously in a hurry, but, you know, not everybody can help us. You see this here? That was clearly his index finger he was using. It was like this. He's got to get right to work.
Hi, I'm Rick Sikorsky. I'm the cameraman for this little project, and I'm also the publicist for the Canadian National Exhibition. And I'd like to extend my personal welcome to everybody to come to Toronto in 1998. We've got a whole group of staff already working very hard to make it one of the most memorable conventions ever. Hope you're having a wonderful time out there, and look forward to seeing you next year.
We're looking forward to hosting the CAFE convention next year, along with the CNE. It'll be cold in Toronto in February, but our hearts are warm, and we're looking forward to having you with us. It's been over 20 years since you've been back. I don't know what we did wrong that it took so long, but we are looking forward to having the convention in Toronto, and you will have a great time.
On behalf of the legislature of the province of Ontario and the people of the province of Ontario, I'd like to welcome the CAFE next February to our city. I hope your stay is enjoyable and pleasurable, and it will be our pleasure to welcome you to our fair city.
Well, there you have it. People on the streets, real people, fun, nice, warm people, some not so friendly, but hey, I bet that's in every community. They all welcome you. We're glad you're coming. It's going to be huge. These are the gates that lead to the Canadian National Exhibition, and this luncheon is to bring you through our gates to our convention. And I'd like to formally welcome you all to Toronto, the President of the Canadian National Exhibition Association, Mr. Ken Lance.
So there you have it. The Canadian National Exhibition hosting CAFE, Canadian Association of Fairs and Exhibitions. I don't know what chambers Sam was talking about, but I hope you enjoyed a fun little video taken 33 years ago on a cold February night. Thanks for joining me at David's Board, and see you again soon.